Would you look at that booty? Hello YouTube, I'm late to the party, but better late than never. Finally I get to play a Dissidia game and give my first impressions, so stay tuned and enjoy the footage. I've been a fan of Final Fantasy since my first encounter with the franchise back in 1998 with Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1. I've enjoyed 20 years of Final Fantasy, and while I haven't enjoyed everything in equal measure, I've still enjoyed my experiences, and I am happy to have put the time in. Whenever a spin-off game like Dissidia was announced, I always wanted more from the characters I'd met in previous games and wanted more world building. I love all that stuff. I was always interested to see what imaginative way the creators could develop these characters in a setting that wasn't an RPG and provide me with a different experience. I should also point out that I love fighting games, and when I first heard of Dissidia and how your favourite characters would be battling it out, I couldn't wait. It was a match made in heaven for me. That was until I realised it was coming out for PSP and PSP only. Back then I still thought I'd get a chance to eventually play it, as I'd considered buying a PSP, but as time marched on I never got round to picking a PSP up or ever getting to play the game. But now it's 2018, every dog has its day, as the old saying goes, and today is definitely my day. I've gotten to play through a few fights as some of my favourite characters. I hear there will be 28 characters to choose from on release, and that the roster could grow with DLC to be closer to 50. I don't know about that. That seems a little high for DLC, but only time will tell. It could be done, of course, no doubt. It's just you often hear plans of a lot of DLC that over time fizzles out. If it's got a solid game and DLC can build on it to keep players interested a little while longer, I'm all for it, especially if it's free. If it's tacked on for extra cash, not so much. Anyway, the roster looks like it covers all of the Final Fantasy games to date. Each of the heroes from previous titles are playable, with the antagonists from Final Fantasy 1 through to 10 making an appearance for now. Maybe more to come through some of that planned DLC that I mentioned just a second ago. From what I've seen so far, the game consists of a tutorial that does a pretty good job of teaching you the ropes, an offline mode where you can have a sparring match, or opt for Gauntlet mode. Gauntlet mode has you fighting consecutive foes of increasing difficulty. Think of it as the standard arcade mode. Doing so will increase your character rank and earn you unlockables. I'll come back to that later. There is an online mode that allows you to select ranked solo and ranked party matches and a custom match option. Party is nice. You can invite friends, but also can invite people you've fought in the past. Story mode, as far as I can see it, seems to be just that, a place to view the story of the game. It would appear that by playing through Gauntlet mode and standard battles, you can unlock further cutscenes. This is fine, I guess, but I think most people would prefer to see a cutscene and then head into or out of a battle that sets up for the next cutscene. Within the game, there's things to unlock, a great many of things indeed. I was actually a bit shocked by the amount of items I received after my first try at Gauntlet mode, which, to be fair, I failed. It seriously ramps up a few fights in. Sure, not all of the items interested me, but different strokes for different folks and all that jazz. There is no doubt a ton to unlock in this game, and you're being rewarded every time you play. It doesn't look to me that there will be a painful grind to get mundane items that no one has any interest in. Unlockables include character skins, weapons, chat messages, X skills, battle music, player icons, titles for your online banner. The big appeal for me is the character skins, weapons and X skills. Banner icons and titles have never really interested me much, and let's be face it, they're all over the place. Battle music is nice, but to be fair, I've never really loaded up a game just to hear a song or two that I've enjoyed. And make no mistake, I really like the music in this game. One track in particular I never got bored of is what I would describe as lofty yet epic, and although the track just goes round in circles, it's such a good arrangement that I could enjoy listening to it every time that it came on. Now on the flip side of that, there's something which I can't stand to hear, and I've got a few minutes of footage coming up so that you can all share with me in the brain numbing annoyance of Dissidia's resident Jar Jar Binks. I kid you not, this guy is that bad if not worse. Remember how I said you unlock a lot of items in this game? Well, that's either going to be a blessing or a curse. God, please let them be able to switch this thing off, because it does my head into no end. So without further ado, let me introduce you all to this massive a-hole.
You mastered a new EX skill, Kubo. You mastered a new EX skill, Kubo. You mastered a new HP attack, Kubo. Kubo! Kubo!
I've got your back.
Oh, God, give me strength. I'll come back to him a little later. Now onto the character models. I think the characters look fantastic. I mean, come on, just look at these intros. I've never seen them look so good. The characters of the older games obviously benefit from this the most.
I'll stand strong no matter what happens.
I'll be quiet for the next minute or so, just so that you can enjoy these intros. From the intros you will also see the summonings in the game, which also look fantastic.
I can't wait. Let's do this already.
We gotta be thick as thieves to win. Aw, over so soon?
You are hopeless before my powers. Fall to the void. The scales have been righted.
When life gives you lemons, squeeze them dry.
There is only despair. I almost enjoyed myself. The earth trembles under the weight of your verdict.
And as you can see from this footage, it's not just the character models which look spectacular, also the summoned creatures look the best again that I've ever seen. They've managed to tread the fine line between just right and long enough that it keeps you interested when the summoned creatures are making an appearance in the game. If it was much longer than this, considering you're calling them in every single battle, it probably would grow a bit tiresome. But because it's sharp, snappy, and within a few seconds you know it's done and dusted, I just think they've hit the nail on the head. It gives you enough to look and admire the monster and to be excited for its arrival as it boosts your team. One thing I can't get excited about is that Kupo Bow spouting SOB, it's not enough that it's there when you unlock everything, every item in this game it seems, but it's popping up mid-battle to try and tell you what to do. Whichever developers thought that little thing up, let them burn in hell for eternity. I don't know what it is with the Japanese. They have fantastic ideas, they've put out fantastic games, but occasionally they enjoy that shit. And I understand that the Japanese like cute things, or kawaii or whatever that's called, but they have to acknowledge, if something looks cute, that's one thing, but repeatedly saying something over and over is not cute. No parent on this planet has said, "Oh, do you know what I find so cute about my kids?" when they repeatedly ask me over and over and over again, or say something on repeat over and over again. Now that that's said, I'm going to put this rant to the side. We're going to move on with talking more about this game. Sometimes it's good to vent. The arenas in the game, as you can see with this bit of footage, they're going to be backgrounds that if you've played a few Final Fantasy games, there's bound to be a few of these backgrounds you recognise. For the purpose of the game, running around 3-on-3, battling, they fit the purpose. There's not too much interactivity with them, but I don't think that that's what the developers in this were going for. Within Dissidia, the characters are divided into 4 combat classes. There's power-based vanguards, there's assassins, range-based marksmen, and what I could see there was only 1 specialist, but there will be more specialists in there, I'm sure. What I didn't speak about earlier was that the attack style in the game's unique as far as I'm concerned. You're bashing on the X button, and this is known as your bravery attacks. So you're sort of taking down your opponent's bravery meter, and once it's down or obliterated, you can then use square, that's your HP attack, which would really finish them off. The tongue. It's really not advised to just do that and just bash on the X button all day long. Your timing will be all wrong, causing you to get countered. You want to time the button presses correctly, then rush in and continue the attack on the opponent until his bravery bar is low enough that you can hit him with an HP attack. In every battle you're assisted by 2 AI buddies. From my experience, they aren't that good, especially not in core battles, where the object of the game is to defeat your opponents by destroying their crystal core while defending yours. If you try to defend too much, you'll get a timeout. If you attack too much, you'll lose, as the AI just aren't supporting you well enough. All of the battle is on you. All of Dissidia that I played was in single player. I did have a click on online, but couldn't get an online match. The online does look like it's going to be fun. With this being a 3-on-3 battle game, you're going to have your team of 3 against another team of 3, 6 players online, duking it out, and I think it should be really good fun. I think that with the mixture of character types, with the vanguards, the assassins, the marksmen, the specialists, I think that it's going to lead to some good, interesting tactical gameplay. Don't get me wrong, you're going to have people that just go on and swing for the rafters, just button bash, probably see whole teams of clouds and squalls and stuff like that, but it will be a fun experience. Frustrating at times too, I would imagine. It's probably needless to say, as at the beginning of this video I pointed out that I do enjoy Final Fantasy, but I am eagerly awaiting this game. I don't believe you need to be a Final Fantasy fan to appreciate or enjoy this. The game is nice to look at, it's got a great roster, good music, tons to unlock, smooth gameplay, what's not to like? Pick it up, give it a try. It's something different, it's a breath of fresh air, and no doubt the online play is going to be frantic fun, which brings out the competitive head in people. Any questions on the game, any discussions you wish to have about the game, please comment below in the comment section and I'll get back to you ASAP. So there you go folks. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button to show support, and if you like the channel, please subscribe. This will hopefully continue to grow and develop, and we will get better with every video.
I'll take you on anytime.
By the way, you can check out which social media I have by looking in the YouTube banner for my channel.